Now, two guys that have been mailing it in for years, which is totally corrupt. Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Emily, just so you know, the due date for this is a fucking week ahead of time. It's not like it's the day that it's supposed to be posting and it's late. It's still a week ahead of time. It's like a week ahead of time. That's a long time ahead of time.
People assume that time is a strict progression of cause to effect. But actually, from a non-linear, non-subjective point of view, it's more like the Nice Guys on Business podcast. It's all fuckery. Most days, they take their meds. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. No interviews, no business content. Just your two favorite slack-jawed mouth breathers ranting about whatever. Now, strap yourselves in for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
And recorded. And we're even recording before Strickland gets here. This is good. See, Strickland's early now. He's 2 minutes early.
Yeah, God forbid. Right. I mean, of course, I'm here 2 minutes early, and I knew you guys would be. Hey, before we get started, although apparently we're live streaming, so apparently we've started.
And recording also, but go ahead. What did you need to say, Strickland?
Can we cancel the TurnKey meeting? Like, I actually want to cook dinner tonight, and I won't get dinner till like 9 o'clock if we don't.
Sure, we can. I'll let Ashley know we're going to cancel the team meeting, and if you could just entertain our special guest Emily Aborn in
because obviously, if we're talking with Emily, like the idea of a short episode, there's no fucking way that's going to happen. I mean, we know that.
Okay, my question is, you just cancel meetings when you want to like cook dinner? Like, sorry, I want to do a load of laundry.
You know what? It's good to be the king.
It really is.
To be the
king. Strickland gets to make the rules. I just live in his kingdom. It's fine.
I'm going to use that on my client someday. Like, I got to cancel our meeting. I'll be eating lunch at that time. I changed my mind.
Please let everyone know.
No, we don't want Strickland getting hangry. He gets very hungry in these episodes.
Well, I can sometimes. But I've got company over, and I'm wanted to cook dinner, and my daughter was going to cook dinner, but she's like not feeling up to it now. So now it's kind of getting put more on me, and which I'm fine with as long as I have time, and we're not eating at like 9 o'clock at night.
You know, there goes Strickland trying to be the father and the mother in the family. He's trying to be
right, and the good
I'm
host.
Curious about what you're cooking.
Let's see. So I've got I'm going to do this. Crispy rosemary potatoes.
It's called Anytizers, Tyson.
No. I'm actually doing. I was just chopping rosemary actually, because you need fresh rosemary if you're going to do like crunchy.
After you're finished chopping rosemary up, what are you doing with the next guy that comes to the house? Yeah, I'm going to put the next guy through the wood chipper.
Well, funny enough, I interviewed Rosemary today, and so I was going to make the same joke, Doug.
Sorry, I didn't mean to step on your punchline, Emily. I did not.
I love that you're like channeling your inner Julia Child. I mean, Rosemary is no joke. That's like, we're now talking serious chef here.
But you know what's so funny with rosemary? I'm chopping it. I'm like, I wish I had a goddamn food processor, because you got to have fresh rosemary if you're going to do that, right? You can't do the dried stuff, and it's like you got to chop it. But like a food processor, it'd be done.
Well, Strick, do you have your own rosemary bush outside, or do you have to actually have to go to the store to buy fresh rosemary?
I went to the store to buy fresh rosemary, if that's okay with you.
See, if you lived in Ojai, you'd just be able to go out to our front porch and pick some rosemary off of the rosemary bush.
Damn.
Oh, there you go. You got to start looking for houses in Ojai, so you can go over to Doug's and pick fresh rosemary.
As soon as we triple our revenue at TurnKey, I may be able to afford a house in Ojai, like Doug, the big spender.
Nice. That is the benefit of dating a very affluent woman. She tells me where to go and where she's going to spend the money, and I just follow along. It sounds good. Hey, Strickland,
Welcome back. We can't let it slide. My name is Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler, and on the third side of the microphone, our special guest, Emily.
I'm waving. Hello.
And this is being live streamed apparently, so now everybody can see your beautiful smile.
Well, I figured that everybody doesn't necessarily, they might know Emily's picture because of Facebook, but they may not know her personality, because that might not come through the same way in audio as it does in those deer in the headlight looks that she's going to throw our way on Facebook Live. Before we actually get into all of the topics, though, that I have not prepared for today's episode, Strickland, I noticed that on Facebook you posted recently a new ink that you got. I was not aware that you were getting a new tattoo.
Sorry, I didn't share that with you. Okay, so here you go. You see that?
That's crazy big. That is a commitment,
right? That was like 2 hours, a little more than 2 hours. It wasn't that bad.
So I would like to know, apart from the dream catcher, just like I'm into that, but does it have any special meaning to you?
Not really. I like the sort of the Native American idea, the vibe, and the whole idea of the behind the dream catcher, those kind of things. Yeah, I like all that.
When is your first journey with peyote going to be?
Don't have that planned yet. Don't have that planned yet. But,
and that is already adding to the ink collection that you have on your right arm as well, correct?
Yeah, I got my Maryland flag over there, and I got my yoga symbol, my ohm that I just got maybe 2 or 3
And then don't you have one on your forearm also?
I have 2 on my forearm. See, you can't see it. Now, wait a minute. You know what? I can actually pull my camera here. See, I got that one.
Is that a compass? I love that.
Yeah, compass with music notes and stuff. And
what's on the other arm?
I got like my unalome, which is like your path to enlightenment.
Wow.
Yeah. I got all kinds of shit.
Doug,
you've got one with a DJ.
Tats?
Doug has one with a DJ. Because he was a DJ, that's why he got that DJ tattoo.
Well, I have 2. I have one on my arm. It's not anywhere near as big as Strickland's. I can't see if you can see that, but it is the Mandarin symbol for life. And then I have one on my rear end, which is a DJ, and it's a very, very big, very big. Excellent.
Yeah.
Hey, so why are we graced with your presence today, Emily? I am curious. You were very eager. I think, was there a subject that we were talking about that you wanted to shed some more light on, or was there an opposing view that you wanted to share, or was there a just because vibe?
Well, I missed you guys was the main reason, but I've just been leaving such long voicemails. I'm like, I gotta just have a conversation, because I could just keep calling and calling and calling and leaving voicemail after voicemail, but I don't get the impression that you guys really are into that.
Well, you like that. We like that.
I mean, every single time you complain about there being 8 voicemails, I'm like, I can't contribute to the problem.
You know what? I gotta come back from that, because that is all me. Strickland never complains about the voicemails. It's always me saying, how many fucking voicemails do we have? And we ask everybody to leave a message. So it's not a surprise that we get 8 voicemails. And then why the fuck do I complain that we have 8 voicemails? That doesn't make sense. So I'm going to stop that. And not because I don't like getting the voicemails. I just like being, counter, whatever it is. I just like being the other side. Right.
Because we have 6 voicemails this week, and I'm guessing none of them are from Emily.
I am excited about that.
So I think part of it, Doug, is like you have gotten cut off on this elusive topic that you've promised us twice. True. And the voicemails get in the way of that. So we still don't know what the topic is.
Okay.
That's top of my list here.
But before we get to that, I have to ask Emily, do you have does your Zoom have like a softener or something? Because it looks like there's gauze on your camera.
In a bad way? I mean, it's nighttime here.
You're kind of really airbrushed. You're ultra
you look really
airbrushed.
Soft.
Unsoften yourself. I want to see the hard, rigid Emily like we normally see. Where is that one?
I'm gonna find this.
Yeah, there is in the video tool. There is video settings.
That's the no softening.
The touch up my appearance. I want you to undo
see. It
that.
Did change. There's some lines and wrinkles.
It's the color of lighting, though, Strick. I think it's the lighting color.
It gets rid of the lines and wrinkles. That's quite nice, actually.
Let's
turn that back on.
You have like a brown light. What color is the light in your room?
So it's dark in here, but this little light here, and then I have like a little candle.
It's the candle. It's what it is. You have like incense burning. Yeah, it's totally what it is. Just like it's like very Strickland's right. It looked like almost like a glamour shots kind
No,
of.
but I do think it was
Totally.
a Zoom thing because see, now it's like not as clear. I can tell, which is why it was on.
We like we prefer HD blemishes. At least
Okay.
that's
In
where
a
I'm
big
coming
way,
from.
yeah.
Here, I'm
All right.
gonna put myself on the top of my frame like you guys on the top of your frame. I felt a little low compared to where you guys are.
Well, you're very tall.
So, do you want to start with it? Is that what we're starting with, Emily?
I
Is that
mean,
where we
it
want to
has
go?
been literally on my list for weeks, Doug.
Okay.
So
All right. So I can't remember why this started or how this started, but I remember. Strickland, you sent me a text message. Remember you sent me the text message? Do you remember what it was? I go back
Oh,
and
sure,
look.
Doug. I remember a text message that I sent you at some time in the last year.
Sometimes it wasn't in the last
You may-
year. It was it was literally in the last 3 weeks. You sent me this text message.
Yeah, I've probably sent you 30 in the last 3 weeks, but you'll have
Okay.
to be a little more specific.
All right.
wait. Side question: do you guys talk every day, even on the weekends?
Yeah.
Chat most days. Like, I
Okay.
don't know that we talk.
Not
every
talk,
day, but
right.
We do chat every day.
Like
Yeah.
text.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty
we
much,
definitely
yeah.
send at least one text message, but
One of you doesn't have an Apple, so for one of you at least, that's kind of inconvenient, right?
no, it's okay.
Well, I mean, like Strickland, you don't have iPhones, right?
No, I do not.
So you
Why is
can't
that?
like type from your computer.
I don't type from my computer.
no,
Why would I do that?
No, I could if
it's
I
such a
wanted to. I do.
time
I have
saver.
an iPad, but that's the
okay.
only Apple thing that I have, and it's not connected to everything else. And I do have the option now with Windows where it says, "Hey, do you want to connect your Droid phone so you can text from your computer?" I don't feel like
If I had to text from my computer, I'd get absolutely nothing done because I don't need to be texting the entire fucking day.
yeah.
I mean, it saves me a lot of heart. Like, it's just so easy to type out novels to my
How
friends.
do you do your
know?
emojis and all that other stuff?
You add them right in; they go right in there.
Where do you see an emoji? Look, there's no emoji on this $1,400 keyboard to have.
All right. Do you have texting on your phone? I mean, on your computer? Do you have like the
Yeah,
app?
I have.
Okay.
I think I closed the app though because I didn't want to get any text messages.
Okay, Doug Sandler.
Yeah.
Oh, well, don't worry. We're not going to forget your topic. Okay, so I texted you.
You did?
And so if it pops up on your screen, let me know, and then I'll show you where the emojis are.
Where would it pop up on my screen?
Like in your
Hold on.
notifications
I gotta
bar?
find. Hold on. This is messages. Okay,
I might
hold
have
on.
just created a
I see it.
monster.
I got
I'm so sorry,
got messages.
Strickland.
You totally.
Jerry, you have a podcast interview on Monday. I don't see where you've sent me anything.
Well,
No, it didn't make it to me, Emily.
maybe
I'm
it's
sorry,
not
it didn't make.
Maybe it was a different Doug Sandler.
Maybe that is indeed the case. Hey, I had something interesting happen to me today. I started receiving about 4 or 5 hours ago a bunch of like you subscribed to messages, like my DJ Doug, the Gmail address. Somebody must have subscribed me to, and then it got to be like I started getting all of these foreign language things. I got it in Russian, in German, in French, and I'm like, who the fuck? This has got to be some sort of bot that is put on Earth just to annoy my ass. And then it got me thinking, if I really wanted to be vindictive to somebody in my life, could I just subscribe them to like 30,000 things? But do I have to get like the original? Don't I have to confirm that I want to subscribe to the list?
Most
Not
of them,
with
yeah.
everything.
But not
They
with
just-
everything, yeah.
Yeah. Was that your topic?
What? I don't have any topics, Emily. This is just.
There's
No,
some
you
topic
had
about
a-
some
you
text
have
I
a
sent you 3
story.
weeks ago.
Oh, is that the one we're starting
yes.
with? The text to Strickland? So Strickland sent
And
me a
then I
text message a
interrupted.
couple of weeks ago, something to the effect of, and Strick, I don't remember how the wording came across or what it was, but it led me to believe that your job was on the line. And so I'm like, hey, this could give me, now do you remember now?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what initiated the entire communication?
No.
Okay. So I get this message from Strickland, and the message basically was, hey, I'm going to find out in about 5 minutes if my job has been eliminated or not. And I'm like, well, your job at TurnKey is pretty secure. So that's probably the other thing that you're doing. So I clarified what he meant, and he shared that his company was doing some cutbacks for whatever reason that they're doing cutbacks. I think, I know where it started. It started about the memo that you didn't give me the contents of the memo, but it was basically, hey, our company is owed a lot of fucking money that we're not collecting for whatever reason.
Yeah. No, because we did 162 million in revenue, but we lost $50 million or something last year. Like we had 50 million more in expenses than we had in, it was some ridiculous amount of money. That's like,
All right. So maybe that's where it started. But anyway,
Are you embezzling?
No, shit.
Yeah, Strickland's doesn't even they don't give him keys to the checkbook. I promise.
Yeah, hell no.
So I sent him a message and I'm like, well, yeah, here, the entrepreneur in me thinking, that's fucking great news. You'll be able to put all of your time, like me, you'll be able to put all of your time into TurnKey because this is the only gig that I have since I don't DJ anymore. And he's like, I can't remember your exact comment, but it was something like, I've got to replace that income. And I'm like, you can replace that income. Come over to the dark side. We have cookies, like, come on over here. And look, for those of you in our community, Emily, you probably are aware of this, but for those in our community that may not know this, Strickland is not necessarily an entrepreneur through and through. He has been kicking and screaming through the forest as I am pulling him along the way. Now, that doesn't mean that his skill set is not going to amazing use, but even so, Strickland does not think necessarily like an entrepreneur. Like anytime I have an idea, Strickland's like, oh, good, here's another opportunity for me to fucking waste my time, but here's another opportunity for me to...
That is not true.
I know.
That is totally not true.
When Doug has an idea, that means money. All right, because that's basically Strickland's interpretation of, hey, do you have a minute? When I ask him that on the phone, because do you have a minute means I have another business idea that I want to run by you, but I can't tell you the last time because this is not a bad thing, Strickland. This is just the reality of you, is that he does not have those, do you have a minute so I can talk about a business idea that right?
True. That's a good point. I have not had too many of those lately. You're right. I mean, I have in the past, but you're right. I have not.
But
lately.
I knew when I remember making the phone calls to Strickland in 2014, almost 10 years ago now, almost, and saying, hey, Strick, I'm about to publish this book. I don't have a way to promote it. Would you want to start a podcast with me? And he said, of course, what's a podcast? He said, we joked about it. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I've listened to Serial. I think we could do something like that. And he's like, sounds like a good idea to me. Let's meet at your house. We'll have a planning meeting. So that's exactly what we did. But that was probably the first time that I realized, as I was asking him these things, that while Strickland was a huge player in the agency, he was the president of the agency, he just wasn't let's start a business, or I have an idea, let's go down this path. So when he sent me that text message that said, I'm going to find out in the next few minutes if I have a job, I just kept thinking, this is the best thing that could possibly ever happen, because Strickland's not going to ever leave his job. He's going to have to be forced out of his job. So that was basically the topic of conversation, Emily. Did that help?
Definitely. So I do have two follow-up questions. First of all, how did you two meet originally?
Strick?
In the Washington Talent Agency, I was playing in a band and Doug was a DJ. That's how we first met.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I love that. So then why, I mean, you must need the income of your job, and this feels too risky to you. Like Emily,
really need? Isn't that kind of like in air quotes? You really need.
I'm curious.
Let me answer that before Strickland answers it, because I'm going to give my interpretation of what Strickland is going to say before he even says it.
Okay.
Does he need the money? Absolutely. He needs the money. Could he replace the money and make more if he focused and if he drew all energy towards TurnKey and other opportunities? Absolutely. Even more. Can I convince him of that? No fucking way. He doesn't even see it on his runway.
But you see, here's the difference, though. I think it's an interesting way you look at that, because if I had more time to put into TurnKey, like, you're more the idea guy than I am. I think you come up with the idea and I figure out the way to execute it. Now, if I had more time to put into TurnKey, would I come up with more ideas? Yeah, probably some.
And what I would say is, you don't give the fertile ground enough time to grow a plant. When you occupy your time with your, and this is not, look, Strick, I love the fact that you have safety and security, because that creates an environment of satisfaction for you, which further plants fertile, plants in our soil of TurnKey, if we want to use that analogy. But if you gave TurnKey the opportunity to grow, at the pace that I know it has potential to grow. What is it? Necessity breeds invention.
Yeah. Okay.
And in this case, necessity breeds innovation. We would come up with, because you would be able to have time to focus on things, even if the time to focus on things means doing nothing other than just don't spend any more time in turnkey. Just give yourself the opportunity to allow it to incubate. Emily, are you tracking what I'm saying?
Yep. And I have one more question. Do you love your job? And also, do you love like participating in turnkey?
I do really love my job, and I love I love coming up with ways to make turnkey, run better and be more efficient. And Doug, I agree with you in principle on all those things. I just don't know that in practice that I'm that guy. Like, I'm not saying that I wouldn't come up with ideas, but it's just, I don't know. It's not what I love it when you come up with ideas and I'm like, okay, that could be a moneymaker. Let me figure out how we can do that.
Do you think if turnkey didn't come along, or if I didn't come up with the idea of I want to launch a podcast to promote my book and you were in the band, do you think that you would have worked differently to maintain your position with Black Tie, the band that you were in?
No, I was pretty burned out by the time I left. I would
okay,
have
so you would have filled the void with another, let's call it $3,000 of income that you needed because that's what you were, or whatever it was that you were making in the band. But you would have figured out another way to make that $3,000, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, yeah. So I'm about to make the analogy here, or create the comparison here. If your job was paying you $1,000 a week, again, I have no idea what your income is with your full-time gig. I'm just going to say $1,000 a week. If you did not have that $1,000 a week, don't you think that you would figure out another way if you needed the money to make that $1,000 a week?
In theory is different from in practice. And I know you're a black and white kind of guy. Would I figure out some way? Yeah, I probably would. But if you remember correctly, when we started Turnkey, technically, I had already started a podcast production business, kind of, sort of, and it sucked and it was terrible. And I wasn't charging enough money and I didn't know how to get new clients. And you came in and we put it together and you drove that along and you made that work. But if you hadn't come along, like if I had continued to do my version of the podcast production company, I'd still be fucking floundering and not charging enough and not making much money.
Okay. So in other words, what you're saying is, Doug, if I know you are here through this process of me leaving my job at the other company, I know I will be successful. I'm just telling you should leave your other job and allow me to be the guy that helps carry, I know that you trust me, and I'm not forcing you out of your job, and I don't want you to leave your job. I know you love your job, but what's interesting about it is if you did leave your job, you would have this void that you would need to fill because you feel like you need to fill that void, whether it's with income or a creative license or whatever it is. I know that we could amplify the business if you didn't have that. I'm not saying that we're being held back because you have it, but I know we would blossom and flourish because you would be void that opportunity in your life.
I just don't know that that's the case.
I know.
Only because of the skill set, right?
No.
If what is the skill set that we need to grow Turnkey, right? Yeah. What things do we need? I don't know that I have the skill set for that.
Right,
now, I have the skill set that if you come up with great ideas, I can make them happen and make them grow. So let me
tell you, the catalyst to me coming up with those great ideas is the void that you would have in my
field. But that's bullshit. That's putting it on me. That's like,
no,
that is total bullshit. Emily, you got to call him out on this. What I hear you saying right now, what I hear you saying right now is, Strick, if you had more time, I would come up with a shitload more great ideas that we need to develop. But since you don't have the time, I'm not going to do it.
No, I don't.
What I hear you saying.
No. You took it a little too far. You took it a little too far. Like I'm blaming it on you why Turnkey is not excelling.
Okay. Yeah. I do think this. I think if Doug is stuck in the weeds all the time, like And I'm not saying you are.
No, I'm not.
Because
Totally
it seems
not.
like it seems like
No,
you guys have
definitely
good
not.
delegation systems. But
Yeah.
if you were, I could see that hindering you coming up with new ideas.
No, no.
Totally.
But also, if you don't have the person that you're like, I can bounce this idea off of, and they're going to help me like put it in place, i.e., Strickland, then maybe it doesn't motivate you to come up with the idea in the first place. In
Okay.
Strickland's defense, I'm thinking, I'm almost wondering, like, I do feel a little sense of like risk aversion. Like there is definitely that as a piece.
Mhm.
Like you're like, I don't know that this will work, how Doug is saying it's going to work. So I don't want to put all my eggs in that basket. But maybe you're also just like multi-passionate. Like maybe you like to have two things, a foot in one in on both sides of the, I don't know, the
Hey,
fence.
Strick, you remember when I had of course, you remember my DJ job, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Any idea like the revenue that was generated from my DJ business?
Oh, dude, it was ridiculous. I know how much you made.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Yeah.
I had that at the same time that I had TurnKey. Now, how is it that I have been was able to maintain, manage, and grow in my environment? Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is when that income dried up and went away completely, and the last gig was in May of this year, so 4 months ago, but I've been, it's been kind of fading for many, many years.
Mhm.
I figured we're just going to figure this out. We're going to work this out. I could have thought, well, I'll just start up my DJ business here in California. I'm going to make that work. And there was a brief moment where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm like, no, that's totally not what I want. I don't want to work the 60 hours a week that I was working before. I'd sooner make a little bit less money, but have all of my time back in my life. And we probably don't put a fraction of the time that we put into our band and DJ business. But getting the opportunity to work on other ideas and whatever necessity that there would be to grow the business, I love the challenge. Do I want to work the extra hour, all the extra hours? No, but I don't think there's a correlation between the amount of time that you work and the money that you make.
Okay. You lost me on the point on that because everything that you just said makes sense to me. So my answer would be, okay, so come up with more ideas and then you and I can work them together. I don't understand where my day job is a hindrance to that.
I wasn't, that's what I just wanted to make sure that you were aware. I was not sharing with you that your day job is getting in the way, but I know that you would feel an obligation to replace that income if you said, hey, I don't have that $1,000 or whatever coming in every week right now. I've got to replace that. And again, necessity breeds innovation in this particular case. We would figure out, okay, what other thing are we going to lean into? Are we going to lean into, other production services? Are we going to lean into guest placement? Are we going to lean into social media posting? What are the things that we're going to do? And that would sometimes, in some cases, that necessity is what drives the process along. Not saying that it has to be that you leave your job. I don't want you to leave your job. I just didn't want it to be, this is going to be the worst thing ever if I lose my job. It wouldn't be. It actually would be you don't like to make decisions when it comes to stuff like that. You'd rather the decision be made for you.
Sometimes, but I like my day job. But the other thing is, it sounds like what you're saying is that if I had that hunger and that need for more income, we could drive TurnKey along. So my question is, why don't you have that? And is there, if you had more of a hunger and you decided we're not making enough in TurnKey, do you feel that if you come up with ideas that the fact that I wouldn't have enough time would hold you back?
No, I don't ever feel like you don't, except when you say the things like, I'll do that tonight. And you still say it. You still fucking say it. You're like, I'll get to that this weekend. I'm like, no, don't tell me, your partner, that you'll get to that this weekend. That means that other priorities of my real job are more important than me doing that. Or I'll get to that tonight means after I'm finished my day job. You can just leave that from your vocabulary. I interpret it now as I don't even hear it anymore. Although,
but the thing is, Doug, but what's the alternative? Because the alternative for me is not telling you, here's when it will be done. Your expectation is that it's going to be done in an hour.
No, it's
not. If it's not done in an hour, then you're going to be upset because
no. If one of our clients needs something specifically done, and I say, Strickland, is this something that's on your zone of genius list, or is this something I should delegate? No, I will get to that tonight. I'm like, no, you can just say, I'm going to get to that. Don't say I'm going to get to it tonight. Because when you say I'm going to get to it tonight, what I hear is when I'm done, the other things that are important in my life, I will get to.
So what I'm hearing you say is, and Emily as a witness.
Wait, so was that the only issue? He just needs to fix it.
No,
I'm just kidding.
You finish your thought, Strickland. Yeah. Finish your thought.
That I will not give you a deadline of. I'll tell you, I've got it, I'm on it, and it's getting done. But
well, okay, when you say I got it, I'm on it, I'm going to get it done. No, I got
okay. When I say I've got it, I'm on it. I'll get it done.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that I'll get it done whenever I want to. That means I'll get it done as quickly as possible. I know that.
And what is your definition of as quickly as possible?
I don't know. It depends. It's very
an hour.
It varies upon
sometimes it can get done in an hour, but not always.
Okay, so let's take that as the example. If you say that something is going to get done in an hour, then it's going to get done in an hour. If you say
no, you just told me you don't want a deadline. You just want me to tell you it's on my plate.
No, what I don't.
See, this is where I have a problem, because when there's no communication of a specific deadline, you put a deadline in your head of
let
when
me ask
you
let me ask you a question. Okay, you can complete, and I will believe whatever answer you're about to give me. Do you ever say at your day job, I'm going to work on that tonight?
I do say at my day job, I sometimes say I will work on that later this week. Sure. Oh, okay. I don't say I'll work on it tonight because it's a 9 to 5 job, but I will say I will work on it later this week.
Wait a second. You don't say I'm going to work on it tonight because it's not because it's a 9 to 5 job. And what is turnkey to you?
I don't know where you're trying to.
What I'm trying to say is when I say, Strickland, can you take care of this or delegate it to somebody else? And you say, I will work on it tonight. Emily, what do you hear when he says that?
I mean, I work at night sometimes.
Emily, I'm cool. You don't have to. I am just asking you the question when he says, I just want to know what he means when he says that.
I think communication is interesting like this because I don't hear the same thing that you hear. I truly just hear, okay, he's going to get me that by tomorrow morning, which is awesome.
Okay.
Like it's a deadline to me in my mind.
Isn't it interesting in my mind? Isn't it interesting that when somebody at his day job says to him, hey, I have a responsibility, Strickland, is this something that's on your plate or is this something that you're going to delegate? And he goes, no, I will get to that. And he'll say, I will get to it this week, or I will get to it today, probably, but he's not going to say, I will get to it tonight. And so why is that?
So Strickland maybe just needs to drop the tonight.
Okay. I'm trying to put a deadline because I know you want a deadline. I will not make a deadline in evening anymore because you obviously have.
Okay, let me ask you this.
I'm trying to shift where he is mentally with turnkey, just in the shape of the conversation. Because in the shape of the conversation, I will get to it, but day job, hey, when Strickland, is this something that's on your plate or should you delegate this? I'll get to it this week. Okay, totally cool. Or I'll get to it today. He would never say, I think I've established this. He will never say, I will get to this tonight. Okay. Now let's take turnkey. Strickland, same time frame, 9 a.m. I ask a question, or 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Hey, Strick, is this something I should give to you or is this something you're delegate? I'll get to it tonight. What I hear...
I know. That's your perception. I get it. Now, if I were to say to you, I'll get to it today.
Perfect.
At what time would you expect it to be done?
Well, what's the difference between if you say today or if you say
no? Just tell me what time would you expect it to be done? If I said I'll get to it today, is midnight okay? Or are you expecting it by end of business?
Whatever it is that we've established as the
we just had this conversation earlier in the week because with Chelsea, you said end of the day is not fucking midnight. The end of the day is end of business. We had this discussion earlier this week.
If you say to me tonight, what is my time in that case? What's my time if you say I'm going to get to it tonight? What is my fucking time? It's no different than if you say today. It's still an arbitrary target on the wall that you've just placed. I don't know what the fuck time tonight is.
Okay, but this is the thing that you will put an arbitrary definition to that. That's my concern. If I don't give you something specific, like I will get to it by this time, if I say I'll get to it today, I get stressed because you may put a definition of today as in before the end of business, which earlier this week you got really upset because our client didn't have show notes by today. And I said, the day's not over yet. And you said, hey, I don't think midnight is appropriate. I think if it is due today, it should be done by end of business. And I disagree with that definition.
If you say I'll do this tonight, is midnight no longer a period of time that's unacceptable? Is it now midnight is acceptable when you say tonight? Just tell me it'll be done by tomorrow morning.
Okay, I could do that. I'll do that. I'll do tomorrow morning.
Because, and again, I think we've had this conversation before, and maybe I've just misinterpreted your meaning of this. But when you say I will get to it tonight, I interpret that as I will get to this when the other things that are more important in my life are finished.
But now, if I say tomorrow, you won't get that feeling. If I say I'll have it by tomorrow,
no, I would feel if it's a responsibility that I feel like can wait till tomorrow, that's fine. If it's a responsibility, like, there was, I can't remember what it was that was on the agenda. I think you were doing like a voiceover for our BizWiz podcast. I think it was. Mm-hmm. And I think you said, I'll get to it by the end of the weekend. And I'm like, that's totally cool. There was no sense of urgency. I even think I told you there's no sense of urgency to get to this as quickly as you think that I may want it in return.
Right. But I get the impression from you, which I agree with, you hold our customer service standards very, very high, that 24 hours is often too much. And I don't disagree with that. If there's a customer request, 24 hours often is too much. And so if I were to say to you, I'll get to it by tomorrow, then I'm feeling like,
it's funny.
You rightly will feel that's not soon enough. That's not enough urgency. I don't want to tell you I'll do it right now if I know that I will not be able to do it until later in the evening.
You know what? Many times your response is, I am on it. And I accept that as your answer. And that there is nothing attached to I am on it as far as a deadline, because I know that when you say I am on it, for the most part, you are on it and you do it fairly quickly, or it's one of those things that you kind of judge how much the time that the project would take. I do hear a different thing, though, from you, because I think we're talking about really two separate things. I think we're talking about my expectation of the return of the project. That's one. And the other is, how do I feel about where this turnkey business fits into my priority? That's
the whole night thing. Because like if I were to say to you, let's say that I just started calling you casually, Doug, how you doing, bitch? Like just out of the blue, I started calling you bitch. And maybe you have a negative connotation with that word because it's kind of a nasty word and it wouldn't be really appropriate. And maybe I just started calling you that all the time. And you'd be like, dude, why you calling me? Fucking fuck. But if I were saying it like that, I mean it in a sort of nice, what's the word, Emily? Like that sort of familiar tone.
Yeah, I got it.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, Doug, that's the way I mean it. Why are you taking it differently? That's the way I hear you taking tonight.
So
now,
you're saying
I will stop using the word because I understand that you have a negative connotation when it comes to me and saying I'll get something done in the evening.
You said this before, though. Mm-hmm. You said you would stop this. I would stop saying tonight. Yes, you said that one other time. And I brought this up one other time, and maybe we didn't have an extensive conversation. Like, go ahead, Emily. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say maybe it wasn't so thorough. So now it's going to stick.
This is therapy with Doug and Strick. With
I love it. It's healthy.
Therapist.
It's healthy to talk about these things. I mean, if Doug were to sit there and let that simmer and just keep on bothering him and not ever express it, I don't think that's healthy. So.
Well, the other challenge though is, and JJ and I talk about this all the time. It's like, if I can't interpret what you're saying differently, it's my reaction to the word. It's a different reaction that I'm having to the word than you are intending it. Why can't I just interpret the word as you are meaning it and not put so much weight in this word tonight?
Right. And it's easy to say that, sometimes harder to do it. Right. And now that you have reiterated with me, and we may have had that conversation, I think I vaguely remember that. I appreciate you reiterating with me that it's not about putting it off. That was the original conversation. I think that's how I took it. I took it as, you tell me tonight and I'm pissed because you can't get to it right away. But it's
Oh,
not
no,
that.
no,
it's
it's
the
not that.
word
Yes,
tonight.
It's
That's the button. That's
it's
the
funny.
trigger word.
It's not, like I said, it's not the urgency at which the request is made. It's the feeling of the weight of the priority of this business in your overall on your priority list.
Okay, but that is not true, because if I said to you tomorrow, you'd be fine with it, right?
Totally.
And that shows even less urgency.
Well, no,
It's
because
the word tonight, which I get. I can disagree with you, but I understand where you're coming from, and I can
it
be
is.
sensitive
I will
to
do it after the other things, as opposed to I will get to that first thing in the morning. Like if you said that to me, it's like I'm hearing it completely differently. It's like that is a great thing. I'm going to get to a first thing tomorrow.
Okay.
This makes me want to
to
ask this question about time, because Doug, you do have this
I'm
interesting.
not allowed to
relationship.
talk about time management anymore. I've already been scolded before about having this conversation, not by Strickland, but
I was going to say, not by me.
Not by
Who
Strickland.
scolded you?
I had to take a dive into one of the voicemails before we listened to it. I wanted to understand. You'll hear it. I got a little bit slapped about our episode last week about the amount of time that I spent going into time management, because this is a subject that we have beaten the fuck up on the show.
I wasn't actually going to ask about time management. I was going to just ask where that came from for you, because let me just give you context. So when you're talking about Strickland saying, "Oh, I'll do that tonight," what would be most important to me is that he would actually follow through. So if he said to me tonight, I don't care if that's midnight. I don't care if it's 10. I don't really actually care at all. But if it didn't happen until the next night, that for me is the sticking point. So but that goes way back to people not following through on their word. I think
Strickland has really come leaps and bounds when it comes to deadlines.
Follow through.
Okay. I am not 100%. I am still guilty of missing deadlines sometimes.
Understood. It's not the missed deadline or the delayed deadline. It's the missed task. That's the thing that really, really gets me. Is not that Strickland does that a lot. It's anybody on our team, including myself, that I had a task or that task needed to get done. What do you mean you fucking dropped the ball? Nobody is looking behind you to see if that's getting done. I just assume that when somebody says, I got it, or I'm going to do it, that they are true to their word. And what happens in reaction to a lack of task getting done is that now my trust is broken.
Agreed. So I'm with you on that. But so my question is when it actually comes to this time, that this very much importance to the priority and people not being late and those kinds of things, where does that come from? Where is little Doug the child struggling with this?
You hit it right on the head. It's my mom was always late. I would be the kid that would be waiting at front of the elementary school for my mom to come and get me, and I'm like, Mom, what the fuck? As a 6-year-old, I'm sure I didn't use that language, but I'm like, why am I sitting here in the dark on the curb waiting for my mom to pick me up? She was and when I say she was late, I don't mean that she was 3 hours late. She was probably 15 minutes late, 20 minutes late, but it would be aggravating. And in the 90s, when I joined the agency, we had a boss, a president of the agency, Robert, who was extremely disrespectful when it came to time. He would sometimes not even show up for the appointments, let alone be late. So that really got me until one day I just said to him, I said, look, it's 30 minutes past when you said we were going to meet. You're showing up now. If this happens again, I won't be here. And that's not something you talk to the agency owner about, because he represents everything that you do. And I think that I got to him. I think that he said I could be late for anybody except Doug.
So I think your number one sticking point here is that you want to feel that you're a priority to somebody else. Like your mom standing you up like that, it showed, oh, well, I don't, this isn't a priority for me. I'm going to kind of just get there when I get there. She knew how long it took to get to the school. So it wasn't her priority to make sure that she showed up on time. Yeah. Right. So anyway, my point in all that was just that's why we hear a word like tonight and one person interprets it one way and one person interprets it the other way, because there's 6-year-old kids
no
inside
doubt.
all. Yeah.
No doubt.
And now I have more clarity that tonight is the trigger word, and we won't be using that anymore.
I think
That's the
it,
button to push.
and I appreciate that, and I think it has something, the same thing with pretty much anything that is a trigger word for us, or a subject, or we go to this. It's called core negative image. Whenever I have an argument with Strickland, my brain goes to that lizard brain of mine, goes to that, whatever it is that negative image that I have of Strickland. It could be a little or it could be a lot. My brain goes right to there. Like when JJ has an argument with me, the first thing that she goes there is that, that man child, that aloof man child, irresponsible, man child. That's all. It's like, because you can't have a conversation with somebody that turns into an argument, and you're always thinking about what's the worst that person is. That core negative image is how many people view you when you get into an argument, big or small.
It's so funny that you say that, because I don't want to say core negative image I get with you, because it's not really that negative, but I get where like, I'm disappointing you because your customer service expectations are so high. And 98% of the time, I think they're right on target. 2% of the time, I think you're fucking crazy. And I usually tell you, I'm like, dude, you got to fucking back off a little bit, because this customer is not being reasonable. That's not a reasonable request. And we can't get it in 10 minutes, and they're going to have to fucking wait. But 98% of the time, for me, it's like I get upset with myself because I know you're right. Like, why did the customer wait an hour for this? There's some things that can't wait a fucking hour, right? Like if you got a guest name wrong on an episode that's been fucking published, right? You can't wait a fucking hour on that, right?
Right.
So often the negative that I get is me being mad at myself because I feel like I haven't lived up to the standards that you've set for TurnKey, which I think are excellent standards and have helped us continue to grow.
Okay. Well said. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Emily, your thoughts?
Oh, no,
Before
I actually had a business situation earlier this year, which it was the same exact thing. I felt like I could not live up to her standards and like, I just felt like I was always dropping the ball, when that is so not my personality. So, I hear you.
The greatest thing that we've learned is you don't want every customer. We have fired customers.
Yeah.
And I can't think of one customer that we fired that I thought to myself later, we could really use that revenue.
No, it's not worth the revenue. Yet we still have one of these clients. You know the name of the person, Strickland. I do. We can pick one client, out of 50 or 60 or 70 clients that we have one client that Strick and I we could just be thinking the name, and it's right there in our brain, that when this client starts to say things, I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with you. I don't want to do anything nice for you. I don't want to deliver that service to you, because if I deliver the service, you're going to figure out a way how I fuck something up, even though I've delivered it on a, hey, this is out of the goodness of my heart to deliver this to you. And
I think we've gotten really good at setting expectations with that too, because this is a client that we basically at one point relatively recently, they basically said, I am disappointed with this part of your service that they are continuously disappointed with, and they have no reason to be disappointed with. And we basically said, okay, here's the deal. That part of our service, we're not going to keep you happy. So we're not going to provide that for you anymore.
We're not going to try anymore.
We're not going to try anymore. And if you want to stay with us, we would love that. But we're not going to provide this part of this service for you anymore. So up to you. Tell us what you want to do. And she stayed.
Yeah. That'll be a party day when the client leaves.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wish I could know who this was. Okay, this actually leads me to,
we'll tell you as soon as we hit stop. We're just not going to do it live on Facebook.
This actually leads me to a question that I had for both of you, which is, how do you know if you're the annoying one? Like, how do we know if we're the person doing this to somebody else? Because I can't imagine. So I had a situation where I hired a subcontractor and I actually need to pause the project. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to put this off until next year. So I asked her, do you mind just like refunding me now? And then I'll just pay you again in the new year. Like it is annoying. And I own that. But I had a good reason. So I asked her that. If somebody had said, I'm thinking to myself, okay, if somebody had asked me that as the subcontractor, I'd be like, yes, 100%. Here is your money. Like, take it and go, and we'll talk again in 2024. No problem. That's me. But I'm thinking like, what if she puts up like basically, how do we know if we're the annoying person? You know what I'm saying? I know it took a little while.
No, but it's all about the expectations, and I think whether we're being annoying to somebody else is not always necessarily based on what we're doing.
That's
right?
not even our call. Us being annoying to somebody else, that's their call. They have to call us on it. Like, I know our accountant would love to probably say to me, "Hey, Doug, you're a little bit too demanding." And I'm like, but I got into the relationship. No, I got into it knowing and saying to them, look, communication is everything. If you don't communicate with me, I'm going to be on your front step all the time saying you're not communicating with me. And they dropped the ball a couple of times with communication. However, recently, I really feel like I'm demanding. We pay a lot of money for our accounting services, and they're very good, but I demand a lot from them. So if there is any one service provider that I think would be saying that annoying person, that's Doug. But I don't think I'm annoying to the point where nothing they can do is right.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head with that. From a different perspective, if I am the client, okay, I'm going to clarify with you what my expectation is, what I want, and you as the employer or as the vendor, you have the choice to either reshape my expectation to say, no, I'm not going to do that, or I will get it to you next week, I won't get it to you tomorrow, or they can fire me.
Right.
I think that is the bottom line. Like, your vendor could have said to you, Emily, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. And you would have made a decision on how you wanted to deal with that. But if she felt like you were being annoying, that's on her. I agree.
That's on her. She's got to tell you, and she's got to be bold enough to be able to say that. We haven't fired this one client just because we haven't stepped up to do that yet. We have so many, oftentimes we have said to each other, look, if she fires us tomorrow, we'd be okay with it. And then we have said, I think it's time to fire her.
Yeah.
but she's come through though, because she's like hanging on by a thread. I don't know why, but she just is.
So like, client and subcontractor relationships aside, because I imagine the person you're talking about is probably annoying throughout her life. And
oh my God, yes.
When it comes to most situations, I try very hard to be cognizant and not be obnoxious, right? So like but I'm noticing it. So something's happening with
I don't think that this client I don't think she has an awareness of that. I listen to her episodes. I hear it in the words that she says to her guests and to her audience. So I know that she is like this in life, and she is just afflicted with this annoyance. Period. The end.
What would you do if that was you and everybody else knew it except you? It would be so sad. It would be so sad.
So in other words, what you're saying is, what if you were Frank Burns and you just didn't realize you were Frank Burns? Frank Burns is from MASH, if Emily, you didn't watch MASH.
Yeah, Emily, I was going to say that's a reference that maybe
it's been too long. That's not in the old memory anymore. But
it is interesting you say that, because we just recently had a client who we had a situation where I commented in Monday.com, which is how we do all our communication. And my communication may have been a bit harsh.
I don't even think it was. It was so interpreted. It could have been interpreted so many ways. I'm like, I went back and read it. I'm like, I really didn't see anything, but it was the sensitive nature of the recipient.
Exactly. I felt that I was clearly saying, we need information from you that we don't feel you're sending us. Please give us this information, because we really want to be clear. Doug got an email. It didn't even come back to me. Doug got an email saying, Strickland was kind of harsh. And not only was he kind of harsh, but we got a couple of other people on the team who also think that sometimes he's been kind of harsh. And I was like, I looked back at the communication that we just had, and I said, you know what? I could see that. Maybe I was not as diplomatic as I could have been. But this is the first I've heard of it from the other people on the team. Right. And so in fact, I appreciate the reminder, because I've got it right in my list to do now that they're back from their trip, and I didn't want to bug them. Yeah. That for me, I'm going to reach out to the boss who pointed this out and go, dude, I am really sorry. That message might have been a little harsh. I apologize, but I've not heard a word about any of the. Please communicate with me and let me know what I can do to make it better. Where somebody who's not aware, even if it's pointed out to them, they're like, oh, fuck you. You're fucking wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. I find the same phenomena with like overconfidence. There's nothing more annoying to me than overconfidence, but they just have no awareness of how overconfident and in your face they are about it.
There are
So
some community leaders that are like that because they feel like they are speaking for the entire community, and sometimes they're a little bit condescending, a little bit egocentric, and it does that rubs me the wrong way. I don't like that. I don't like that.
And not the nice guys community though.
No, not our community. I love our community.
Unless you're offended by curse words, because then fuck you all, because that's all we ever do.
It's true. We do have 5 voicemails.
We do have 6 actually.
6. Okay, there one just got in there under the bell.
Oh, really? Did it? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
5. Oh no, wait, no 6. Yeah, it's 6.
Yeah, that's all in there.
Yeah.
If you want to drop in there a Magic 8 Ball answer, I will have a question to ask, and I'll state the same question that I stated last week.
Mm-hmm.
Magic 8 Ball. Is it possible that Doug would not interrupt between the intro and the first voicemail, because we are nearly at an hour at this point?
Okay, because we're at an hour, is there any way possibly that Doug could be considerate and not interrupt between the intro music and the voicemail?
I love how you interpreted the question slightly different than I asked.
Exactly.
That's perfect. Go.
That's why I wanted to clarify how I heard you. That's what I heard you say, Doug.
Karnak.
That's exactly what I heard you say.
Karnak.
Okay, here we go.
I'll tell you what. If you guys become Republicans, you can do it. Yeah, I guess that's a big fat no, then, isn't it?
All right. So there's no way. So
although, even though I say that last week you didn't, I had my finger on the mute button ready to mute you, and you didn't.
No, what, Emily?
I'm sorry, Emily. What?
I was just curious. I mean, these kind of all, if I'm, you guys are always like, oh, we can tell who they're from. Are these all the same person? It seems. Maybe that number 4 one is like a little higher.
Yeah, these waves are interesting because they, I'm gonna guess Jared.
They all look like Jared, but Jared's got he's got his window down in number 4 and number 6, right? Like there's clearly some outside noise.
I'm guessing 6 is Erica.
Okay.
I think 1. Again, right off the top of my head, I'm going to say 1 is definitely Jared. 4 is Jared. I'm thinking 6 is Emily. I'm sorry, is Erica. I don't know about the others. Don't know.
I know there's got to be a way with technology the way that it is now that whenever we bring over a voicemail, that in addition to the wavelength is interpreted by the AI, and a photo of whoever it is placed in the wavelength.
Nice.
It's so much fun to hear you guys guess, though.
Well, I did cheat once this week because for some reason there was a very short message. I think that's voicemail number 5. That was very short.
Yeah.
There was a short message, and I wasn't sure that there was actually a message there because there was no. Sometimes it says message from Jared or message from Emily, and sometimes it's just a phone number, and I don't know anybody's phone number. So I took a moment. I wish it wasn't this message, and I got scolded during this message, and. So that's.
I love that.
I do know one of the voicemails, and I will live up to the fact that I deserve the scolding. So,
okay,
all right,
here we go.
Yeah, so.
We got a voicemail from Jared. I said a voicemail from Jared. You know a voicemail from Jared. Nobody else will call. We got a voicemail from Jared. Screw the rest of y'all.
It's so much faster when I'm listening to it. Like when I'm on the receiving, I listen in 1.5 speed, and I'm like, wow, that song is so much longer.
And this is the short version. I actually cut a verse out. There was another verse in there that I cut out. And Doug is laughing his ass off for those of you who are watching on Facebook, because as soon as we hit the end, I fucking hit mute because I saw his face go like he was going to say something. Hey, Doug, you want to unmute yourself now?
Hold on, I was trying to mute myself.
I was okay with Emily interrupting, but that wasn't going to happen.
That was the funniest thing. What I meant to say was, I forgot to tell you, Emily, and we'll talk about this after the voicemails. Tomorrow I am being interviewed on the Efficiency Bitch podcast.
Efficiency Bitch?
Yeah, that's the name of the show.
I love
Well,
that
there you
title.
go, Strickland. You can start calling him bitch.
That's
But
right.
I'm
See
the
that?
efficiency guy. I'm
Full
like the
circle.
systems guy.
Full circle. I meant to say that earlier, and when you gave me pause to think a little bit, I remembered that I have an interview tomorrow.
We got
I
to put a
wrote that
link.
down.
We need a link to that episode in the show notes, I
Yep.
think.
Okay.
I want to hear it.
Okay.
Okay, here. We ready for voicemails now?
Stop interrupting, Emily.
Sorry. I couldn't
That was
help
the
Hey,
best.
Greg Garrett here.
Jared,
so
number one.
you guys
Yeah,
are
that
now
one.
talking about the due date of like the show notes, and I'm guessing the editing as well. But good conversation, and I think, man, you guys are back and forth on this one, and I seem to really align with Strick on this, and it seems like you're very similar, Doug. But something that you guys are talking about is you're setting the expectation of, okay, what day you want this, and then you're communicating to the team that we want it on this day, and then you let that person know. And then Strick, you mentioned that you changed the due date and apparently told the client as well, well, now they want it on that date. I think you find, this is my opinion and my 2 cents, hopefully it's helpful, probably not, who knows, but when somebody needs it on a day, you don't tell them when you're going to fucking post it. You tell them, okay, we'll have it on that day. You only change the due date to the team member. And then you make sure that you have it in your guys' terms or your communication with them that no changes can be made to the show notes within 48 hours of the end of, so that way they're not last minute trying to change it. You already got it done, or something like that, or no changes to the editing.
Document
maybe you
locked.
have that, maybe you don't. I don't know. Just my 2 cents, but
Locked and loaded.
really interesting to hear the two viewpoints. And I mean, as similar as you guys are, there's still some small details that are different. So it's kind of cool. But anyways, hope that helps. Don't communicate to the client that you're doing it early. Make that all in house. And if they show up early, great. But they can never come back and say, well, my expectation is that you're going to have it early. So, all right, guys. Appreciate you and loving the show. All right, see ya.
And that was exactly the email I sent to the client. 95% of our clients never look at the due date on what we call sub items, like the editing and the notes and the images. Most of our clients don't look at it at all. I know that this client looks at it, and if I change it, they'll expect it. And so in my email, I said to them, hey, I am aware that you want these by the Thursday before publication. We're totally good with that. I'm letting you know I'm setting the due date as Wednesday. Please do not bug us. End of business on Wednesday for this, because we'll have it to you on your day. It'll be done by midnight on Wednesday. Anyway, that was exactly the email I ended up sending to the client.
Did they end up responding to you about that email? Because that was a really well-written email.
Well, they copied you and they said, it's really okay. It's no big deal. We just know that this show note writer has been late in the past, and we wanted to make sure we got it on time. And this is one of our very, very best show note writers who is very, very rarely late.
And just, Emily, just so you know, the due date for this is a fucking week ahead of time. It's not like it's the day that it's supposed to be posting and it's late. It's still a week ahead of time. It's like a week ahead of time. That's a long time ahead of time.
Yeah.
One thing I think for a lot of people is that they don't have like a time. They don't understand. They know a deadline, but then they don't understand, like, what do I actually need to do in the rest of my life in order to achieve said deadline? So I think they call it time blindness.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. I know what I'm going to use for the intro today. Is the Doctor Who.
What is that? Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
That's from Doctor Who. It's a line, something like, most people think of time as a linear progression from start to finish, but in reality, it's more of a sort of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey thing, something like that.
I thought of another analogy also. Instead of using the Frank Burns analogy, it's like they don't realize that they're Lewis Litt. How's that? Is that
for
better?
those of you who have not watched Suits yet, after we talked about it for like 30 fucking minutes last week, you should go check it out. And by the way, I'm up to the middle of season 6.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I don't, should I, you know what? Fuck spoiler alerts, right? Like, this show came out 10 years ago. It's when Mike's been arrested and they're trying to like throw him in jail for you've gotten past that, right?
Yes. We just started season 8, so we're up to season 8, and I'm on to another show because you know me, I get fully into like depressed mode when I run out. I love like 8 or 9 or 10 season shows because I know I have at least 3 or 4 weeks worth of content. But I have the morning show. Have you watched the morning show yet?
Oh my God, I love the morning show.
So
I've watched the first. This is the 3rd season that just came out, right?
Yep.
I have not started watching the 3rd season, but oh my God, it's so fucking good. It's
Emily,
really
you watching it?
I have not started the 3rd season yet because we are watching Tehran, which is also so good.
I don't know that one.
I don't know.
It's on Apple. Yeah, it's on Apple. But yeah, it's very good. But that's on my list. I have a list. I have a list for like to be read, to be watched. Like I have to keep track of these things. And Suits is on my list, but God
Suits
knows
is so good. Have you seen Mad Men yet? Have you watched Mad Men?
No, I tried. I wasn't.
Yeah, I tried too. I wasn't into it. What's Tehran though? I've never even heard
what
of
is that?
Okay, so it's this woman from Israel and she like sneaks into Iran and I don't know what they're up to yet, but it's like
You're in the very beginning. Are you in the beginning
hacking
stages?
activity? Yes, I think we've only seen 2 episodes.
Oh,
I think I've seen the ads for that. It's like kind of spy thriller type of adventure.
I'm assuming the morning show is taking a direct parallel path that Matt Lauer and Katie Couric took.
I think
100%. You are going to see Matt Lauer in Stephen Colbert 100%.
Do you know I went to
Steve
college?
Not Steve Colbert. Steve, whatever. Not Steve
Colbert.
The
other one, Steve Carell.
I went to college with Matt Lauer's niece.
Oh, really?
They actually look quite similar in a weird way.
Sorry for her.
Really
no, I guess like the shape of their eyes.
No hair, beady eyes, and a beak. No, sorry, like what? Yeah, it takes a very. I'm like, I wonder how much similarity there are to Matt Lauer and the guy that's playing the lead.
You know the character on the morning show is such a perfect example. And Emily, tell me if you disagree with this. As a guy who like he kind of wants to do good, but he's very unaware of how shitty he is.
Yep.
Yeah. And people tell him, this was really shitty, and he's like, no, it wasn't that shitty.
There was a great conversation that I'm sorry, I'm forgetting all the characters' names. So the guy Mitch is the character that was sexually did bad things. When when Mitch is sitting with who's the dude from Murders in Only Murders in This Building? What's his name? The older guy.
I know. I can see his face.
Hold on a second.
Martin
Short. Yeah. So
Martin Short's in it?
Martin Short's in it. So Martin Short is having a conversation.
With the director. Right.
Yeah. He's having a conversation with Mitch in Mitch's backyard. And it's so obvious that Martin Short is a predator. And it's so not obvious to Mitch that he is. And they're having this conversation. And it's like, Mitch says to Martin Short, it's like, well, you couldn't see that you were a predator. And Martin Short is like thinking, yeah, we all got some predator in us. And the guy's thinking he's so beyond reproach, Mitch. And it's like, no, dude. And then they cut to the scene where they go to Vegas during the shooting and he took advantage of the one intern or whatever, the booker. And I'm like, dude, that scene was so fucking creepy, but so I'm sure the reality of what goes on in powerful people's lives when they feel like they have earned the right to take advantage of somebody. And he's just like hugging her. Shh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm like, it's not fucking okay. And I wanted to reach through the screen and just pop him right in the fucking face.
That's why I like the morning shows so much, because it feels like, oh shit, this is like reality. I mean, this is really the shit that I'm sure went on in Hollywood for fucking years and nobody said a word about it. Yeah.
Emily.
Okay, we're ready for more voicemails?
Wait, I wanted an Emily quote here. I just want to hear something from her.
No, I got nothing. I'm into it. I can say that. It's uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah,
and it's always, I just read Lessons in Chemistry, really similar kind of parallels. I think it takes place in the 50s, and it's painful. It's like just painful to read her what the male scientists put the female scientists through. I'll say that.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
All right, voicemail number 2. Shit,
That's
that was-
also going to be a
Oh,
TV
wow.
series dropping October 13th on
Oh,
Apple,
nice.
and I can't wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Voicemail
yeah.
number 2.
Yeah.
We're only an hour and 5 minutes in.
It's
We're
fine.
up to
We're good.
voicemail
We're
number 2 now.
Doing fine. We'll cut this one to 30 minutes. Somehow editing.
Hey,
it out.
Doug. Hey, Rick Garrett here. Voicemail number 2.
Dose.
Anal bleaching. Really? When you said that as part of the previous discussion,
Hang on. Anal what?
anal bleaching.
Oh, no bleaching.
Really?
Anal bleaching.
I
Anal
thought you were-
bleaching.
Oh,
And here we are. We're listening to anal bleaching. Oh my God. So, yes, I've heard of it.
Never.
I have no idea why people would do it, but whatever. And the amount of things you guys said while discussing it that could have just launched into me making so many fucking comments, I was cracking up the whole time. So anyways, guys, even though it was weird, I still laughed a lot because I am a 12-year-old boy. All right, guys. Appreciate the show. Appreciate you guys.
Nice.
I first learned about that from a family member who told me that she's like friends with lots of stars and such. And she said that they do it for
Why?
because I guess for some reason.
It's got to be some fucking extreme
Well,
close up.
She even had talked about the color of the pigment of the skin. I mean, I think that's what you brought up. But anyway, yeah, it's got to be a real close up for sure.
Yeah, well, like, what is a
She's the
celebrity
one that
star
taught me
or
about
not?
it.
Well, who has got to be so fucking vain that somebody else is looking at their asshole to determine, have you had your, hey, you know, there is anal bleaching. You should try that. Because, man, it's not like somebody walked up to you and said, hey, your breath is bad. But they walked up to you and said, you know, your asshole, your anus is too brown. It needs to be more bleached.
Maybe you know, here's the other thing. Like, we're not seeing these. So like they might actually be in need of some bleaching. So we don't know.
What does
We
that even
don't
mean
know.
in need of? Okay, let me
just
ask this
don't
question. When was the last time that anyone has seen my asshole? All right. When was the
I
last
cannot
time?
answer that.
Okay, well,
question
just
for you,
answer
Doug.
that question for yourself silently. I don't need to know the answer to this, but when was the last time that anyone has seen your asshole? And is it important, so important for that one person or two people or five people in your life to have seen your asshole to think, man, it would look much better if your asshole was bleached? I mean, what the fuck?
It's got to be really bad for you. That's all I can think. Like
I'd
all
have to
those
think so.
toxins. And that's
Yeah.
a very, like, I'm pretty sure that like absorbs really, really fast into your bloodstream. So anyway,
Okay. It's an
not my
interesting
idea of a good
subject.
time.
No, me neither.
Moving on.
No, let's do it. What do they teach you at
Your
homeschooling?
voicemail number 3,
Wow.
and on it goes. At home anal bleaching kit. Okay.
Right, exactly. Right.
Just the sheer logistics of trying to make that work and
Where's
make
the
sure you do
mirror?
a good job and not, you know, how do I
Mrs.
not
Scott.
really fuck it up. I just, how did they come up with at home kits for this shit? There we go. I don't want to know. You don't have to discuss it. But these are the kinds of things that popped in my head when you're discussing these. So please, for the love of God, for the love of all that's natural, unnatural, unholy, holy, whatever, no more anal bleaching.
We're done. We're done with it.
I'm just going to let it keep running because we don't need to talk
Hey,
about
Doug. Hey, Rick Garrett here. Voicemail number 4.
it.
All right, so you were talking about gym etiquette and stuff, and yeah, Doug, if they don't expressly say no to that, then it's to me it's part of what you're going to be dealing with.
Ugh.
And if you don't like that type, you need to go to Planet Fitness because they are very anti that type of behavior at a gym.
Really?
So
Fucking
to me, a
Ojai.
gym is a place you're going to go and you're going to have people slamming weights and making all kinds of noises because yes, in a lot of cases, they are pushing their limits to the absolute max that they can. Yes, I would agree with you. It's more of a Powerhouse Gym or Gold's Gym or something like that where they're doing that, but I don't know your gym. And you asked for opinions, so here we are. I would say go to Planet Fitness, and I think they even have freaking actual alarms in there that they'll hit if somebody's making noises with weights or grunting and all that kind of shit. So
Interesting.
anyway, all right, fellas, man, 4 voicemails. What the fuck? You guys have probably already been cussing up a storm because, even if one more person calls, it's 5. So,
Mhm.
all right, guys, see ya.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah, probably we've
was
got 2 more,
singing
so.
in the background?
I thought that was you, Emily. I thought that was on your side. That
No.
must have been.
I didn't
That
hear
must
any
have been.
singing.
That must have been on Jared's. Yeah, somebody was
Yeah.
not singing, but like moaning. I'm not sure
It was
what's going on
very
over there, Jared. Everything okay? Not 100% sure. Maybe the anal bleaching was happening. What's going on?
Okay.
Hey,
Are we
Strick,
ready
Sorry,
for-
I noticed, Strick, that you accidentally clicked to your email. Your short inbox 0 at this point. Where are we in your quest?
well, inbox 6 right now.
Oh,
Well,
are you?
I have 24 read and unread, but half of those are ones I could probably clear out. But I have 6 unread, and no, I'm in pretty
Okay.
good shape.
All right.
I'm
That's
pretty
good.
good shape. Like it's all one page, not even a whole page, half a page.
The only reason I left the one email in my inbox because I knew I was going to have a conversation with Emily today, and it's about the Efficiency Bitch podcast that I wanted to make sure that she was able to stay tuned for. Melissa Leon is the name of the host. And I'm curious. I'm going to be a guest on the show, and they talk all about efficiencies. So I'm
Melissa
efficiencies.
Leon. Why does it sound familiar? Do I know her? Have I met her before?
I don't know. I have never met her before. So
How did you meet her?
I met her through podcastguest.com.
Oh.
Actually, yeah, I scour the daily email that I get from them just to kind of see. I like to see like who's available as a guest, and some of our clients are looking for guests, so I always keep an eye out for some of the different various guests that I might see in the top 10 that they share every day.
We're ready for the next voicemail, which I think is the one that was scolding you. Apparently,
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
Hey guys, it's in all the time I've listened to Fuckery.
By the way, that's Erica. It looked like it cut out a bit
it's
there,
funny.
but we know that it's Erica.
I think possibly. I don't think that was on purpose. I mean, that was accidental. That was.
I think so
left
too.
out.
I think it just cut
was.
out.
I think it was the Watergate gap.
Oh.
There was a gap in Watergate because maybe for some reason, while there is not a disguised voice, maybe there was the intention that we don't know who left the message.
No.
Remember when I said that I went to the voicemail, the scolding voicemail, remember what I could not see in the scolding voicemail? I could not see the name of the person because it was just a phone number.
Okay. Here
All right, let's play it. Well,
In all the time I've listened to Fuckery, I have never once complained. But you know what? I'm sorry to tell you I'm calling to complain.
Oh, shit.
22 minutes ranting on customer service and time. Really? It was really boring. I love you guys, but man, I am so tired of that rant. And I know I'll probably hear it again, and you know me, I'll tune back in anyway, but I just gotta say, love you, hate the rant. Okay, bye.
Well, Erica, I think you're actually going to hear it sooner rather than later, like the first 30 minutes of our episode today.
Well,
but
hold on a second.
we
I
do
don't
tend to go
think
over
that
the same
we
shit a lot.
No, I don't think that we spent that time talking about customer service as she would be complaining about it. I really think, Emily, you were here, so you were witness to the conversation. I really think it's a relevant conversation to have until you get to the meat of it, don't you?
It honestly was very eye-opening for me in many of my relationships, and I'll be taking it and applying it to the rest of my life. And I really think I think it changed something. So I think anybody listening could apply the tips and tricks we talked about in the beginning.
Emily, we didn't ask you for this, but I would like you to share this if you would. I am really a fan of your new show. I really am enjoying it. I don't get to listen to it as often as I would like to because I don't really ever go anywhere in my house, and I'm, but can you plug that show because because you do have some great subjects. We were talking about the subject, what is your About Me page? I love that you had that one also. And so I want you to maybe just share a little bit, just take a second and just Go ahead and
Well, thank you so much. It's content with character, and I think you're gonna really like the next one because it's about taking stock of all the stuff you did in 2023, like from a business standpoint, and just looking at it and being like, okay, what am I doing going forward? So Strickland, maybe right up your alley to get some new ideas flowing.
like
over
it.
there.
In light
I
of
like it.
today's subject matter, that would probably be good. Nice.
I like it. And I'm very curious, Erica, I want to hear from you about, because I think where Erica is coming from is this is a topic that I think it's the one we talked about last week about time and stuff. I think it's relevant, but it is one that we have in the past beaten to a dead horse. And if you're someone who is an entrepreneur and you're aware of all the things that we've talked about over and over and over again like that, like Erica is, she was probably really fucking bored, because it's like, guys, how many different fucking ways can you tell me this same shit? Not that what we were saying wasn't valuable. It's just that I've heard it 100 fucking times from you guys before. I'm curious, Erica, I would love to get a call what you thought of our first 30 minutes today. If you kind of felt the same way, if you felt like, oh my God, you're beating this dead horse, or if you feel like, there was some interesting dynamics in there. I'm very curious. So, okay, we're ready for the last voicemail.
Same question, Erica.
In light of the fact that we have been scolded, my blood pressure is 107 over 75. So
Ooh, that's high.
Are you alive?
no,
That's high.
no, that's
That's
107
not high.
over. No, that's
Oh,
great.
no, 107 over 75. I apologize. You're right. That is good. I
Are
don't know
you
why. I was
high?
thinking it was.
My heart rate is a little bit fast. I think my heart rate is elevated 66. I'm usually around 59 to 61. So 66. There must be some subject that is actually getting my heart beating a little bit faster. But I think my blood pressure is actually feeling good right now. It's good.
Okay, are we ready?
Sorry, I picked that machine up yesterday.
Okay.
I've been
Doug,
doing
hey,
busy.
Strick, Erica here.
She's calling to
your question
apologize.
was, what would be incentive to meet up with you guys in Vegas? And frankly, just saying that you'll be in Vegas and we could meet up with you would be great. Even better would be you pay for a really nice dinner. Maybe even better than that would also be you pay for a show. But other than that, I don't care. We actually drive. We're not that far, and we would do our own hotel, and you don't have to worry about that. So, yeah, dinner and a show, but just make sure TurnKey guys are there, and that'd be great. On another note, big apologies. I meant that the best person to play Strick in a biopic would be Seth Rogen. Not
Oh, that's
I
big difference.
Big difference.
No, I did not mean Seth Godin. I meant Seth
Godin.
Rogen.
I
Okay,
was,
that's it. Love you guys. Love the show.
that's so funny, because that's
Soon.
what I was
Bye.
thinking she was meaning, something like that. Oh, and by the way, I want to point out that I did only call out 3 of the 6 voicemails of but I was correct on 100% of them. Jared, and Erica.
Wow, that was pretty good.
Okay,
Seth
now look up a
Rogen.
picture of Seth Godin, because he's
We
like
did that last week. We did
We did that
last
last week. Seth
Oh.
Godin.
You couldn't see it. Nobody could see it, but yes, Seth Godin, a whole different thing.
Geeden. I said Seth Godin.
Well, but okay, so I agree. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
definitely.
I was looking at that going, bar?
So
No,
all right,
I
so
don't.
if Seth Rogen plays you, I agree with that. Can
Totally
Paul Rudd play me?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that'd be great. Except he's too young. He looks too young, even though he's probably 10 years older than you. But no, I agree. Seth Rogen, I'm going to take that as a compliment, because I like his vibe. He's very comfortable. He's very funny, but he's like casually funny. Like he's not trying hard. I take that as a great compliment.
Do you know Seth Rogen is high? I'm pretty sure he's the one who's high every single time he acts.
Wow.
Really?
I think, yep, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's definitely different from me, but I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah.
Like on Paw.
Then I'd be okay. Like if Steve Carell played me, I'd be okay with that too. I'd like that too.
I would, Doug, I would agree, but then Steve Carell has played some roles that it's really hard for me to like him again. So he like the morning show is a great example.
Yeah.
So, and then there was another one where he played this like psychiatrist that gets locked in a basement. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's losing me because of these roles.
All right. So who can we get
sad.
to play me then? We've nailed it at Seth Rogen for Strick. I like that. It was a really good choice.
So we need some calls in. Who do you think should play Doug in the movie? And by the way, I love what you said about Steve Carell and the casting, because I think for the morning show, it is absolutely the perfect casting, because he is this guy that it's like, he's so likable, right? And he is a likable person, and he's very Matt Lauer-ish. But then you realize he's a fucking asshole, and it's like, I still see the charm, but I really see the selfish, dickish, misogynist asshole behind it too. I think he does a great job playing that role.
I'd be good if Hugh Jackman played me.
Oh, dude, that's I don't see that, but okay,
I was just looking up. I was looking up tall movie stars. Vince Vaughn could play me, but it's not.
He's too
not the
big.
right.
He's
not
way
the
too
right
big.
body.
Not
build.
really the same vibe.
Now half of Vince Vaughn, maybe.
The Rock, maybe.
Keep going to the gym, Doug. Maybe someday
I'm
he'll
gonna
play.
try. I'm gonna try. All right. Anything else that we want to talk about before we wrap up? We're only an hour and 25 minutes in. Emily?
I know.
Emily-
I got more stuff, but you know what? I think I'm going to save it for the community. I have a couple little things I wrote down, but I'm like, one of them is really a good community engagement question. So
I feel like we cheated you today, though, Emily.
I
we
really
kind of
did
took
too.
over the
Yeah.
conversation.
I felt a little like a marriage counselor,
Very
and
much so.
I felt good in that role. So
Well, maybe
I
you
think
should come
it's
back
good.
next week or the week after then. I really feel like we cheated you. I don't wanna do
Literally
that.
anytime.
We have you back next week. That would be fun.
Yeah.
We'd do it too. What I really enjoyed about Emily's appearance here on the Nice Guys this week is that she always had her pen in hand, like she was actually doing something.
You guys,
notes.
this is my MO. I mean, I can't not write things down, doodle. Like that is my
She is a student of life in practical working form. She right, exactly.
Om Shanti.
That's right. Shanti your Om away. That is good. All right. Well, let's head out of here. We'll come back again next week. Emily, we'll make plans to get you on the show again because, but could we just make one change? Could you host the show and we will be the co-hosts next time?
How do I do that?
That you would just run the agenda.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I tried tonight, but we got
know,
very
we took
off
over.
track.
That fucking happens all the time.
It all started because I asked what your topic was, and then we just
that's why I had one client call me a condescending, dismissive asshole. It's like, I'm sorry, I didn't think I actually, I got to learn to just surrender. I don't surrender really well. I try to. JJ said the same thing about me and my conversations that I have with my daughter. She said, "Hey, was that Rachel that was on the phone?" I go, "Yeah." Well, what did she want? I don't know. I was talking. Well, you didn't ask her what she wanted, why she called. I didn't want her to feel the pressure that she had to direct the conversation. So I kind of did it for her. She's like, no, if she calls you, give her an opportunity to tell you why she called. I don't think that she had a reason why she called. She just wanted to talk. You don't know that. You didn't even ask her that. And I'm like, oh.
Another life lesson. I do this to my brother. I try to guide the conversation because I don't think he has a reason to call. Oh my God, so many epiphanies. This is why I need the pen.
Why would somebody call you though and not have do they call and just want to touch base or
sure.
Strick, when your kids call, do they call with a reason? And do you say, "Hey, what's up? Why are you calling?"
No, they often call just to touch base.
My brother just calls to shoot the shit. Yeah,
And do you feel like during those conversations that your brother has with you, Emily, that he's calling but doesn't necessarily have a direction, and because there's no direction, you feel the necessity to provide direction for the call? Why though? Why do we do this?
Because we write show notes for a living and produce podcast episodes with valuable content, and everything must be valuable content.
I don't know. We've been 9 years, 1,400 episodes, many of which have just been me and Strick, and we don't ever have an agenda. We get here, we do our thing, and that's why at the end of the conversation, if you query me 5 minutes after we get done hitting stop on the record button, somebody says, "What'd you talk about?" I don't fucking remember. I don't know. I didn't have an agenda.
And if anyone claimed that our show notes were valuable content, I would have them committed. Definitely.
Show notes have been good recently, though. I really like them, Strick. You've been putting a little quip at the beginning of the show or the show notes.
Not me. The show note writer's doing that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say that. Okay, Emily, that is the objective. Next time you run the show.
I'm on it.
Yep.
I'm on it. I will
All right.
You're
start
interviewing
compiling
us.
my list.
We're just
Okay.
going to be the guests.
So
You'll
thank you,
drive along.
Facebook community. We're going to stop the live feed here. Let's do that. Stop that. Excellent. And Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Thanks for listening. Bartender, Doug here's going to have a Cosmo, and Strickland is going to have a Fireball on the rocks. Not the little glass. Yeah, the big one, the 24-ouncer. Oh, and they'd both like a little umbrella. Just give me the bottle and charge them as much as you can.